automatically, like brushing your teeth,
A line.
if you're not feeling spontaneous.
So distribution lines.
And then a line is also a diving board from which one dives into spontaneity. You heard, it was very difficult to hear my video yesterday morning, but whatever you could hear, you could see that I was saying something different to each person.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I saw 3 people, hi, we're giving these out to the nicest trios today, and I showed them the trio of Jagannath. Or somebody else I told about, this book helps you be like a tree. You know what a tree is? Full of fruits and flowers and shade, but everything is for others. So this teaches how you not to stir by anything. Even if a woodcutter comes to chop down the tree still gives its shade and its fruits and flowers without complaining, happily. So I was saying something different to everybody, but I still had my, you could call it shelter or platform, that even if I was in the greatest Maya, those quote-unquote lines would come out automatically without thinking of them. And I might not have even been conscious that I was saying them, because I was off in some Maya world, but they heard them and responded to them. And it wasn't that they were responding to my potency, but they were responding to the book, him or herself. Prabhupada said, so many book distributors come and go, but the books themselves are distributing themselves. Just like the holy name himself causes the devotee to sing and dance. That's what Lord Chaitanya said, it's not me. I'm being controlled by the name. So that's what a line is. Or if you just feel lazy that day, then you just do lines. So some basic platform lines of mine, and I'm sure you have been or are or will be developing your own as it's comfortable for you. For me, as you heard yesterday morning, hi, hey, you didn't get one yet. And then they get curious. Here, I'm supposed to give these out to the 50 nicest people today. Which is true, I can only give them to the nicest people. People who have the most security. And you raved, you get one. And how did you know I was the nicest? Well, the face is the index to the mind, and the eyes are the windows to the soul. That's how I could tell. Another line is, what I told yesterday or the day before. These are, once it's in their hand, then I would show them. It's in their hand, but I'm going through the pictures. This is beautiful wisdom from ancient India. How to be happy within, no matter what's happening externally. You know what I mean, right? So great. What's your name? Bob. Bob came back.
Bob came back, of course.
Well, great. It's really great to meet you. And Bob, guess what? And then they get all curious. Guess what? There's no cost for the book. And then they get, but everyone's giving a donation. We're not charging you like $9.95 for the book. But everyone's giving a donation because, and then I have a few different ones, because we're helping people off birth and death. Is that true or not true? Mm-hmm. When I say we, I don't mean me. I mean we're representing those who are. We're helping young people in suffering areas of life. And if you saw in the video yesterday, because Venu Gopal, who made the video, maybe we should see it again so that you know what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. He's so funny. He showed like a lizard in a bigger lizard's mouth. Mm-hmm. So these are suffering people. That's how they will be suffering in suffering areas very soon if they don't get connected with Krishna consciousness. And then he showed in the movie people, drugged out, miserable people. And then I said, we're giving these out, another line, we're giving these out to the nicest couples today.
Mhm.
And then he showed a couple of flowers coming out of one stem, which means people can become flowers in their next life too.
Mhm.
If they really are attached to flowers, they can be a flower and then get stepped on.
Mhm.
Gurudev said, the problem with becoming trees and creepers is that you get cut down.
Mhm.
So let's see, another line is, so we're helping young people in suffering areas. Let's say if I'm in the Philippines, I say in the Philippines, or in America, because that's true.
Mhm. How you get good?
Helping young people off drugs and alcohol, which is also true. The first time I was with Prabhupada, I was on LSD. And my first question was, can I stay high on this and not come down? And he said, no, because it's material, it's temporary.
Mm.
And my first thought, because I was high on LSD, and I thought, I'm God, everybody's God, but everybody's in me. And they were bowing down, and I thought, oh, they're bowing down to the floor, which is also God. So then my first thought was, this is all in my mind. Prabhupada's in my mind and everybody else. And then the first thing that Prabhupada said to me was, this is nothing that you've created or we've created. This process is very old, simple, and sublime.
Mm.
So we're helping people off drugs and alcohol and in depressed conditions. And everyone's giving a donation. Give the most you can. And then I might indicate that I'm going into my bag or into my pocket as a power of suggestion.
Mm. Oh, nice.
It's not material manipulation. It's just that everyone's in Maya. They're all thinking of all the sinful sense gratification they plan to do, and it helps to bring their minds back into the moment. And this is the latest thing in modern stress-free education. Okay, take a deep breath, forget everything from the past. Okay. Now take a deep breath out, right? She goes to all, Sabi goes to all those places. Take a deep breath out and forget everything in the future. Now be in the present, and now let's start. So it's just to bring them into the present. And then I have different lines for asking a certain amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
One is, generally the book costs $20 in the store, but we're trying to avoid the middleman because we just want to spread love. So everyone's giving the most they can. So they've heard the number, but we didn't ask for that. Everyone's giving the most they can towards that. And also, I say it's for spiritual education for those who are suffering. And every different days I give different numbers. $10 prints a set, 20 prints an encyclopedia, $20 prints a set, 50 prints an encyclopedia, $2 prints a book, $5 prints a set. And when you keep saying that over and over again, it comes out like you're brushing your teeth and you didn't know you were doing it. Another thing that I had fun with was when I was at the airports, many airports. I was going to put this in my memoirs book, but Vasanti told me people wouldn't understand. Only devotees would understand. And people would think badly of us. This isn't a line, but it's just something I did because sometimes in different cities the airports were legal, and sometimes they weren't legal. Sometimes they weren't legal and later on they became legal. So when they weren't legal, we had to not be stopped by the guards of the airport or the police at the airport. So if we were caught and they said you have to leave now, since we wanted to stay and since the airport was so big we could always go to another place, in our bag we'd have a change of clothes and wigs. Okay. And then we'd come out being somebody else and continue.
Oh, good times. Good times.
Is that why you had that wig with you?
Yeah, right.
In the olden days, I don't know if George Harrison is famous now.
Yeah.
Is he back?
Yeah, he's a legend. Yeah. Is he back?
He is, but we don't know where.
Right. He was very famous in the early 70s. And his book, his record, My Sweet Lord and Dark Horse came out. And they were about Krishna, actually. So you've heard of the record, My Sweet Lord, right? This is what he was talking about.
That's good. I like that.
In fact, when we would go to, sometimes we would go to rock shows, and in those days, the Grateful Dead was famous, and some other group, and they had a universal form on the cover of their album with their face in the middle. So I would always use them, that this group, I wouldn't say that we're with the group, but whatever group it was, they're hoping you'll take the book. And you'll find, when you go into the dark theater, that they glow in the dark, because they're windows to the spiritual world, which is self-effulgent, and they glow in the dark. So, yeah, those are some things. That was only for dark concerts. Then, one thing I would do as a takeoff, one line as a takeoff, as a diving board to spontaneous things, depending on what they would say, is, what do you do? I'm a truck driver. Wow, that's exactly what this book is about.
Love it.
Because in truck driving, you have to drive so many hours, and there you are with your mind. So this book teaches how the mind can be the best friend and the worst enemy. And this book makes your mind your best friend, to give you always positive thoughts.
Hi,
You know what I mean,
I'm
Barbara?
a teacher.
A teacher, that's exactly what this book is about. Because, what would you say?
Oh,
What do you teach?
what do you do? Communication studies?
Communication says it's exactly what this book is about, because this book teaches how to communicate with the ultimate source of everything, or the root of all existence. And when you water the root of the tree, all the leaves and branches are watered. Whereas if you try to water each one separately, then they just get moldy.